my time, here I go. I am not moving in silence. If it ain't moving, move it. We making movies, moving. I get the chance to take it. We bout to build it. They leaving it vacant. I just go harder. I am a ball that I gotta get it. I am so with it. I will go get it. That is the difference. I am not waiting. I am not faking. Everything out here, that's for the taking. My mind too right. My grind too tight. This here rhyme too nice. This my world, my life. One shot, who me? Take that, who we? One shot, movie. That's all you need. One shot, who me? Take that, who we? One shot, movie. That's all you need.
One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot. You only get one shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Count all the rings. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Deep be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm painting. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose.
Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Yeah, pull up with a baddie in a fancy car. How to party like a rock star and play guitar like a superstar. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to raise the bar, how to go large, how to take it too far. Let me show you how to show up and show out and surf the crowd. Trust me, you ain't never seen nothing like this. You ain't never been to a show like this. I'ma give you something to remember forever. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright.
Hello, new world, all the boys and girls. I got some true stories to tell. You're back outside, but they still lied. Whoa, yeah.
Take off the foo-foo, take off the cloud chase, take off the Wi-Fi, take off the money phone, take off the car loan, take off the flex and the white loss. Take off the weird jewelry, I'ma take 10 steps, then I'm taking off top 5. Take off them fabricate streams and the microwave memes, it's a real world outside. Take off your idols, take off the runway, take off the Cairo. Take off the Sandro pay, 5-day stay, take a $250,000, hella final. Take off the fuck flag, take off reception, take off the cop with the iPad. Take off the allure, take off the unsure, take off decisions I lack. Take off the fake deep, take off the fake woke, take off the I'm broke, I care. Take off the gossip, take off the new logic that if I'm rich, I'm real. Take off the should know, take off the Doja, take off the Birkin bag. Take all that designer off and what do you have?
You ugly. You out of pocket.
2 ATMs, you stepping to what?
You out of pocket.
Who you think they talk about? Talk about us.
You out of pocket.
Who you think they cover up for us?
Get back in pocket.
The world in a panic, the women is stranded, the men on the run. The profits abandoned, the law take advantage. The market is crashing, the industry wants to sleep in the box while they making a mockery following us. This ain't monopoly, watching for love. This ain't monogamy, y'all getting jumping on what the hell is that? I gotta relax when I feel. All my descendants, they come in my sleep and say I am too real. I'm done with the sensitive, taking it personal. Done with the black and the white, the wrong and the right. You hoping for change and miracles. I know the feelings that came with burial cries. You ugly.
You out of pocket.
2 ATMs, you stepping to what?
You out of pocket.
Who you think they talk about? Talk about us.
You out of pocket.
Who you think they cover up for us?
Serving up a look, dancing in a drought. Hello to the big step, but never lose a count. Venting in the safe house. Venting in the safe.
Can I vent out my truth? I got nothing to lose. I got problems and pools. I can swim with my fate. Cameras moving whenever I'm moving. The family suing whatever I make. Murder is stacking. The president acting. The government taxing my funds in the bank. Homies ejecting the fence when I'm breaking. Look at my reaction. My pupils on skates. Hold up, hold up.
Let's think about this for a second. Tell me what you would do for steady. When you show your show, don't credit. When you show your bro for leverage.
What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant?
You out of pocket, yeah, you out of pocket. You entertain the mediocre, need to stop it. You entertaining old friends when they toxic. What your life like? The gossip.
What the is council culture, dog? Say what I want about you. I'm like overdog. I treat you like I'm Jigga. Watch I own it all. Oh, you worry about a critic? That ain't protocol.
It's that hate, boy. Yeah, my day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we hit it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. Tell them line it up. Like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide them. Y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, give it straight, that's how I like it. And we grinded every night to make it here, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. See, we came up from the bottom, me and squad got it. And we made it through them problems, now it's God body. We eat, sleep, breathe this. Wave till they see sick. Do it right the first time, they all try to remix. Yeah, they grinded, but we grinded different. Tell them they time is ticking, but we time a fish. Bet not leave a minute, stop it. Something like the goat off in that pocket. Whole squizzy riding with me, who gon' stop it? My day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this.
Tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Minnesota Vikings. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. A little jet sweep to start the drive. It's a room to maneuver. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 until it's setting down. It's a game of 35. You talk about catching a defense off guard. Not expecting jet sweep.
He was 10 yards downfield before the defense even knew what hit him. So a really good play call against a defense that was set up for them to gain big yardage. And how about how they executed the handoff there? That means they spent some time with the wide receivers taking handoffs from the quarterbacks.
18 more yards there and another first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Farrell.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Green, the 30, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
It's only the first quarter, but that's a quick shift in momentum right there because they were driving the football before that interception. And then not only, Charles, do they throw the pick, but it gets returned all the other way for the score.
I think the important thing here was it backed up in their own territory. This defense didn't blink. They hung in there, waited for the offense to make a mistake, and as soon as they did, they capitalized in the biggest way possible.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it. Can't afford any more missteps, though.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
From the gun on 3rd down. Farrell, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months. Not weeks, months.
And I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Mayfield now from the 50. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route going into
into a little bit of traffic, maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And again, it's Mayfield. Wide open receiver, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Here's Mayfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at the 3-yard line.
You could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. I like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Right there, hurt.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Back to throw. Farrell. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 with a 34. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards. Looking to throw. Farrell. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Channing Tindall. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing, Mayfield. They'll get this into the hands of Dillon, complete.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami 1st. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 34. Mayfield.
It's Dillon again.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Running left, here's Edmonds.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Baker Mayfield scoring on on the sneak from a yard out.
And the Dolphins have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried the sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Up the middle, Nwangu. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Off play action. Farrell. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Quick throw, and Mayfield completes it. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 30-yard line.
Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Working with a 2nd and 3. Mayfield now. Batted by the safety, but caught anyway. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Come on now. Over the middle, zone coverage where all the eyes are back to the quarterback so they see the ball thrown. How did they get that completed?
Well, they got the hand on it. They tipped it. Just a lucky play for the offense, right?
It was, and for the defense, almost demoralizing. That's one that they should have because they see that play developing all the way through. They'll run on 1st down, Edmonds. And he will take it in for
a Dolphins touchdown. Chase Edmonds, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-0.
Dolphins 21, Vikings nothing. Jason Sanders to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up.
Here we go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Right there, hurt.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Rodrigo Blankenship set to kick off.
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, they're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Mayfield looks to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On the handoff, it's Edmonds. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Let's go.
From the gun, Mayfield.
And that'll be complete to Dillon.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 18. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. They complete it to Hill.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as he's out of bounds at the 2.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Touchdown! Alec Ingold, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it. Pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. It wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to it quickly at the line of scrimmage.
It sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, If there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Farrell, he's airing it out for Williams. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Channing Tindall. And some room to work. And they will finally put an end to the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find way.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Chase Edmonds, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Vikings, nothing. Jason Sanders to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. That's Hill. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
First down, Miami. That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
To Edmonds on the toss. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Now Mayfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. We saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career, and he parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Off the play fake. Farrell sliding out of the pocket. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The offense on 3rd down, a pretty anemic, a very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And he's got it. What a catch on the side. Big play for Minnesota. 36 yards. Today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy. There's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on 3rd and long. But I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air. 44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense, though? Well, it looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Come on, come on.
On 1st down, they'll run with Nwangu. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Killing Nwangu. His 5th touchdown now. And the Vikings are finally into the end zone in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in Newport, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
On third down, Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Given 35 yards there on the third down conversion. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
The kick by Sanders is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Fair catch, made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On third down, Farrell. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as as they just add to their totals. Sanders on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Dolphins 45, Vikings 7. Jason Sanders to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Let's go now. Hey, smash Bronco. Ready?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And incomplete on the deep ball. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield, he's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching, and now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jason Sanders to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Off play action. Farrell. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here.